the Women Community and Children and Community Development Ministry launched a pilot project in the middle of last year on sex education called I'm in Control, and they did it in 5 schools. But this isn't the first time that they've tried to push for sex education, and we all know that we need it in our public school system, obviously, from the number of teenage pregnancies that we're experiencing to the spread of AIDS, especially amongst women and girls. I'm just curious, Marina, I mean, 3R seems to have had some success in being able to raise awareness about these kinds of issues. Do you think any of these methods that have been used by 3R can be replicated for the public education system?
Well, I think you have to differentiate between TV and actual, face-to-face type education, and 3R is TV. Although we do have outreach programs where we go to schools and factories and do different types of that. And I think that's a very, very important component. So we are kind of leveraging on the 3R brand, so to speak, to be able to go to schools and all that. But at the same time, we can't do everything. We can't go everywhere. So it really needs a much more systematic way, systematic module or curriculum that goes to every single school and reaches every single child to provide them with the right need. But I think, it's, now everyone thinks that you have to have sex education. But it's how you provide it that is important. Leave aside all those people, and I think there are less and less people, but all those people who think that somehow you're going to give sex lessons in the class. I mean, I don't know which sane adult would do that, and I personally would shoot them myself if I knew of any. But it's how you approach this question, and adults somehow don't get it. You have to ask the kids. I think you have to ask the kids themselves. I remember going to a private college once for some forum, and the basic question, the only question the lecturer could think of really for this forum is, is sex education a good thing? Should we have sex education at all? And the whole discussion with all the students and all that, as the panel was just going nowhere, absolutely nowhere. The kids all like this, because to them it's obvious. Yes. It's a one-word answer. Yes. But then I started to see all this restlessness, and I finally said, maybe we shouldn't be talking about this. We should be talking about what do you do if you have a girlfriend and you're trying to figure out how to tell your parents about this. And this boy just jumped up and said, yes, that's exactly what I want to talk about. So the thing is, let's just take it for granted. They're going to have relationships. It's just how they manage those relationships, and how do we know about it, and how do we create a trust between us and the kids to talk about it. That's really more important, But we're starting from the basics. I forget the basics. They know the basics,
They already know the basics.
They know. I think they know basically that, you're going to team up, you're going to pair up. And but how are you gonna? Because they see it on TV all the time. I mean, not even teenagers, High School Musical, and all, So it's a given, right? You're gonna have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever. It's just how do you manage this whole damn thing? Navigate this whole damn thing. I mean, even adults, we don't know how to do this sometimes.
And also, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, how do we create the safe spaces?
Yes.
For these young people to feel that they can talk about it. We used to run like Theatre Muda, and I remember in one Theatre Muda there was this girl who, again, I have all these stories, right? But anyway, she said that in Asunta Secondary School, she and her girlfriend would sit on the steps with their buttons, opened, and sort of purposely be feeling each other out, so that the teacher would walk by and stop and say, what are you doing? And then they would have somebody to talk to about it. And the teachers all ignored them.
Yeah.
Completely ignored them. You sit with your shirt unbuttoned and hands are in wherever, and the teachers completely would walk by and ignore them. And they would do it purposely.
Wow.
They were rather creative in trying, we need to talk about this this feeling that I have for another girl. What do I do about it? And so luckily they found themselves in Teta Muda and, whatever. I don't know where she is right now. But so the safe spaces where children can talk about these things. And today's papers had a whole history of sex education and 2000 what happened in terms of the Ministry of Education playing ping pong. And apparently in 2006 apparently the Ministry of Education said yes to sex education and set aside 20 million for this. But it's 2010 and
It's still a
so like the decision has been made in 2006 for sex education with a clear, simple, one-word answer, yes.
yeah.
And it's gone awry, like don't know where.